Hey, I'm Dina Blizzard, and you're watching One Funny Morning. Welcome to One Funny Morning Show.
From Monday to Friday.
And sometimes on Saturday.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
You never know what's gonna happen.
Carmen.
Cortez.
Good morning, everybody.
What's outside your weather door?
Good morning. Uppy. Happy, everybody.
Good morning, OFM family. It's Catherine Fife coming to you live from location in Delray Beach, Florida. A little cloudy this morning, but we'll take it. It's better than the 19-degree weather I left in Illinois yesterday. Anyway, welcome everyone to my beautiful little oasis down here. This will be the last year I'm here after 45 years coming down here. We sold off the property, so off to another chapter in Vero Beach. So here's our lovely host, Dina Blizzard. Take it away, Dina.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. It's beautiful. Catherine, thanks for the lovely video this morning. Delray is so beautiful. If you don't know about Delray, it's like this little plot of heaven in Florida, just north of Fort Lauderdale, maybe. And it's quite lovely. So Catherine, I can't wait to hear where you're headed next. I don't know much about Vero Beach. You'll have to let us know. Good morning, TikTok. Let's see if Floppy Bonnie's joining us. Good morning. It's Tuesday. And it's so far a nice day. I feel okay today. I still haven't found out about my surgery. It's just randomly just gonna get rescheduled, so we'll see. I'm about to get on my spin bike. All right, Sarah, good for you. Is there gonna still be a morning show? Will still be a new. Yes, Kimberly, I'm almost done. I have 2 more videos to get through, and I'm gonna work on the morning show video, the new intro. So it should be exciting. Good morning from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. That's a place? That's a town? That's interesting. We have these beautiful flowers over here. Andrea brought over some flowers as well. So we're all flowered out. It's very exciting. Snowing here in Syracuse. What is happening? The new car is great. Heather, still have not put gas. I literally have barely used 1/8 of a tank of gas. So now what do you have to do? So anybody that's following my car journey as I figure out what the heck I'm doing. So I bought a plug-in hybrid, and I have it plugged into just like a regular outlet in my carport. And it charges. And overnight, it takes like 10 hours, long time. So I need a car that makes gas. I don't know how it does it. But I got a charger, so it's sitting here in a box. And the electrician, kidneys bad, car good. Exactly, essentially is where we are. And so the electrician's going to come and install it. And then I just applied for the rebate from the electric company because they'll give you up to $1,500 back. I think the whole thing's going to cost $1,600. So I'll be on it for $100. It's going to cost me. But yeah, it's kind of exciting. I was bebopping around town using all electric. Oh, I don't really know what I'm doing. So it has this thing. Is this the first time you've put a car in that carport? No, I had cars in there before, like if the kids didn't leave stuff in the middle of it. But now it has to be cleaned because I got to be able to get my car in there. Carol, yeah, I feel fine. Listen, I either feel fine or I feel like I'm about to die. And I don't feel like I'm about to die. So it's all good. But that's until the next time. I know, Patty, I'm just glad that I don't have to think about buying a car anymore. That part is over. I got to figure out how to pay the bill. Whatever. Right? It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. It's essentially what I sing every time I plug my car in. Although, can I tell you, the other day, I was kind of in a rush. So my car is just plugged in, right, all the time. And the plug has a lock on it. If you're thinking about getting a plug-in hybrid, I don't know do you ask? I don't know if your thing has like a lock. But anyway, you plug it in, it locks. In order to get it out, the plug out of your car, you have to unlock the car, and then it'll unlock the electric thing. And that's so people don't steal your charging port. I don't know. Anyway, so I was running out to my car one morning. I was kind of in a rush. I get in the car, I turn it on, I'm about to pull away, and something was speaking to me. And I was like, something's not right. And then I started to look and I was like, I'm still plugged in. Does anybody have that reoccurring nightmare where you go get gas and you forget that you have gas, the thing in the car, and then you pull away? That reoccurring? Yeah. So now I have that fear that I'm just going to drive off with my car plugged in one day. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I was impressed. My Jeep screen told me the license plate light was out. That's impressive. I don't know. I don't know if the dash might have said something. I can't tell. Hi. Yeah. Yeah. Next thing you know, my house, I'll be pulling my house down the street. It'll just come up from the bottom. I'll just be bringing it back. Deborah, I have kidney stones. So I have to drink one of these 3 times a day. I've ripped a hose off the gas tank. It's expensive. Yeah. It shouldn't let you start it if it's plugged in. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it might not have. I might not even gotten to that point. Yeah. Yeah. I've never had it still plugged in, but still had to look. What? I double checked. I have never had it still plugged in, but still had to look. Yeah. Put in gear if I'm plugged in. Yeah, it might not have, Stacy. I didn't get very far. Yeah. So I don't know. And so it's got this thing called this heads-up display. You know what I'm talking about? That shows up in the window. And I think you can decide what goes in the heads-up display. But last night I realized, so it'll tell you what the speed limit is of the road that you're currently on. And then it'll tell you what you're driving, right? I don't care, whatever. But I noticed last night as I was driving when it was dark, because you can see it better at night, that sometimes the little speed limit sign is white. And then other times I would look at it and the speed limit sign was red. Not what I'm doing. What I'm driving always stays white. But the speed limit sign that's supposed to be indicative of, what you're supposed to be driving, sometimes it's white and sometimes it's red. Guess why? It's not that hard. But yeah. Speeding. It means you're speeding. So if it says 40 miles an hour and I'm going 39, yeah, it's all white. But if it says 40 miles an hour and I'm going 41, it makes it red. Yeah. It took me a couple of days to figure that out. I'm sure there's going to be things that I'm just like, I don't even. Yeah. You were speaking, but your lips weren't moving. I don't know, Wendy. Yeah, I don't know if I like it either, Kate. I'm like, what's it saying? Sometimes the speed limit sign will say 100. Yeah. That's only 1 mile. Red is aggressive. It is. It's like, girl, you breaking the law. You about to go to jail. That's basically what it says. Good morning, Jeremy. I can see it from the passenger seat, and I'm always telling my husband, you're speeding. Pala, it is weird. Well, it's right in the windshield, and you can turn it off. You can make it, yeah. Anything red in the car, bad. It's always red for me. It does it on the Waze app. I never noticed it. I don't know how the car knows what the speed. Judy, it knows things. I think it knows when I get my period. It's like, girl, you seem cranky. I don't know. Judy, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, is the car going to rat you out when you get pulled over? Probably. It probably has a screen that comes up in the back and be like, listen, she just got her period this week. Please be nice. Like, that would be nice. Like, if you could, like let the cop know what kind of mood you in. She in the middle of a divorce. It's kind of a hard time. Maybe you could be real nice. Like, if your car could just give people like a heads up on how you're feeling, that would be amazing. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, and you could put like 10 is I'm feeling great. 1 is like, I am straight up a B today. Don't come near this car. And I'd be like, ma'am, I see that you're at number 2, which we would consider to be high risk. Oh, it's high risk. But it would always be a 2. When is it ever going to be a 10? I don't know. Yeah, my new Jeep Grand Cherokee is smarter than me. I don't know how it knows. Auto insurance can track those things. What? And reveals all from inside of your car. Yeah, no. But I'm real judgy now. I just want everybody to know I'm real judgy about people's cars. I don't know if it's because I spend so much time researching cars, but I'm just real judgy. I'm like, do you know how much gas you're using? Like that. I know I am. And I know that that'll only last like 3 more weeks. And I refuse to put the windows down because I want the new car smell to stay. How long do you think you can get a new car smell to stay in your car? There should be one of those smelly things from a rear view mirror, like the trees, just called new car smell. I would like that. So, yeah. 2 weeks at least. I could be judgy. Yeah. You can get a new car smell? There is. It's black. What kind of lemonade do you drink? I don't know. It's not good, Angie. It just says lemonade on it. I water it down a lot. I can't drink straight lemonade. I don't know how anybody could. Bonnie's here. Is she Floppy Bonnie? Floppy Bonnie, I won't be offended if you don't change your name to Floppy Bonnie, but you would be essentially the queen if you change your name to Floppy Bonnie. A, you'd be super famous. B, are you on the Facebook? Because you could be Floppy Bonnie on Facebook. Nobody would know except for us. My car is a 19. Some people say they still smell the new car smell. Really? My husband was traveling over the phone. I heard his GPS. A woman's voice tell him, "You've been driving for a while. You need to stop and rest." That's nice. Have your kids tried Brat? No, I think they're afraid. I think my kids are afraid of my car, which I'm glad. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. I like the air freshener that smells like a man's cologne. Interesting. Like, I have to tell, and I'm ashamed of this because the last cologne, and I'm so old. I'm about to date myself. The only cologne that I can like smell and know, let me take you back. I'm about to go Estelle Getty from the Golden Girls. The year was 19. Hold on, let me think. The year is 1986, maybe 87. Drakkar. Michelle said it. How did you guys know? We're all so old. Don't say Polo. Polo, I don't think I could picture this. Circa 1987. No, not Drakkar. And my very first boyfriend, it had to be 87. I was like a sophomore in high school. Yes. Oh, he smelled so good. Worst. But I'm telling you, and the funny thing is, you know how they tell you that like your olfactory senses, that you could smell something. Like there's a certain smell in September of back to school. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't describe. It's early morning bus stop smell for September. You know what I'm talking about? And but so I don't know. But anyway, so there was a time where everybody was wearing Drakkar and then no one for a long time. And then I just remember like in the last few years, I was out somewhere and I was at like a mall or something, you know, I don't know. And I was walking and I was like, oh, I'm a sophomore in high school. His name is Michael Montgomery and he's so handsome. And we're at the prom. And the girl with the red hair is singing a song. Remember, what was her name? Dun, 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 dun. Come on. And it was the prom. Who sang everybody's prom theme, that song? There's two girls, Tiffany, and there was another one. And thank you, bringing it back. Okay, that's playing on the radio. And I'm a sophomore. I have a scrunchie in my hair, and I can smell Drakkar. Molly Ringwald has a movie out. Debbie Gibson has a song. It just, and it all came back. And at that point, I was like, who is wearing Drakkar from 19? I was like, do they still make it? It's really funny. My husband wore Brut when I first met him. I still love it. Isn't it funny? Now, let me ask you this. And this is, again, going to be a super weird question. And I don't know if men, so this is another question for the fellas here. But have you ever like dated somebody or liked somebody or wanted to date somebody? And then maybe you went on a date, right? But when you got near each other, you're just like, this is not my smell. Like, I think that there are certain smells, like it's gotta, like just your aura. Is it what am I saying? Because I'll tell you, there's Colby moving the light. If Drakkar is around, I'll follow you. Until I hate it all the time. Yeah. New kids on the block, came on the grocery store, and I started saying, is this in sync? You're like, and you just backhand her like that. Pheromones. Your pheromone. Oh, Floppy Bonnie, she's here. Oh, she changed it. She made herself Floppy Bonnie. Bonnie wins today. Floppy Bonnie. Let's just take a minute. Floppy Bonnie, we don't know you. You're new here and you are winning. Mad props. Floppy Bonnie, she don't know us. I said it yesterday. I said Floppy Bonnie is either going to be like, I just met these wackadoodles on the TikTok and somehow they named me Floppy Bonnie. And she's either going to embrace it and tomorrow be Floppy Bonnie. Now, it might just be for today. I don't know what your level of commitment is, but the fact that you made yourself Floppy Bonnie and committed to it on Instagram, where a lot of us aren't. Why is she floppy? I have to make a clip of it. We were talking about, yesterday was Vagina Monday, and some people were talking about how they had tilted uteruses, which I've heard of before. And then Bonnie came along and said that hers is a floppy uterus, that sometimes it's tilted, sometimes it's like a mood uterus. And then, but she called it a floppy uterus, and her name is Bonnie, and I just put them together and made her Floppy Bonnie. And it just sounded amazing. Sorry. Thanks, Alejandra's TikTok. And I told her, it doesn't happen. It's the moons need to align. Something magical needs to happen to get your real name. It's basically like your spirit name. Like it came from the gods. Okay. I didn't make it up. It came to me from up here. And I gave it to Bonnie, and it was up to her to accept it or deny. And she accepted. And now she's winning the internet as Floppy Bonnie. I just don't post on here. I've been watching you for about a year. Floppy Bonnie, it's so nice to meet you. Well, listen, there's a whole lot of ladies on the Facebook that would love to connect with you. So if you ever feel like meeting them, there's a whole bunch of other nut jobs over here. One's named Cooley, one is named Steak. There's a lot. Oh, Tracy just said, I missed yesterday, Floppy Bonnie. Welcome. I'm Floppy too. We could find out that there is an entire Floppy community. Mile High Sebastian. Remember when he said he was from the Mile High City? But I read Mile High Club and I was like, that's a real weird way to introduce yourself. And he was like, I am from Colorado. And I was like, so now he's Mile High Sebastian. We will have a Floppy support group. I can't put all the chapters together, ladies. You're going to have to take some responsibility for yourselves here. We have the whole lean section. Yeah. But, I love it. We do. We need a Floppy support group. Does it matter which body part is floppy to be considered floppy? No. You can have floppy boobs, floppy uterus, whatever. Just check in with Floppy Bonnie. She's in charge of all the rules. But I feel like anything could flop. And you'd be in. There's a whole Michelle section. It's a whole thing. Hey, Chelsea. Thanks for following. Can the floppy be on the inside or the outside? Well, Floppy Bonnie's is on the inside. But if you had floppy boobs, they could be on the outside. So yes, all flop is welcomed. Floppy's on the left, tilts to the right. Yeah, floppy belly. I did forget the name I gave you, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie's like, I'm not going to tell you. Okay, that's fair. Floppy arms, everything. Everybody's like, Bonnie, you basically collected the biggest club. Who knew that there was so much floppy chins? Floppy anything. Laurie's like, I identify as droopy. Is that a different category? No, it's spelled different, but essentially, just I have a feeling we're all floppy. Shakendra's like, I remember what it was. You want me to say it? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But the fact that I can't remember means maybe it wasn't right. But I would like to hear it. Oh my gosh, Floppy Bonnie. A floppy brain, all of it. I have a floppy foot. Yep. Drop foot. You're in. Yeah. If you have a body part that just does whatever it wants, you're in. Floppy thighs. My procedure didn't go. It had to be rescheduled, because my body was like, you know what? Okay, wait, your surgery is Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. Okay, so Sunday, I think we're going to get an infection. What? Yeah, I mean, you guys can get an infection like any of the days before. No, we're going to give you a respiratory infection the week before. Well, that feels like enough. No, we're going to make it something systemic right before you go in. Be okay. Yep. So there it is. I have a whole floppy side. Yep. My floppy foot causes me to floppy sometimes. Yep. Oh my gosh. I kind of have floppy kidneys. They don't really want to do. Mike, good morning. Dina, all the way from Iowa. You're so funny. I like that from you. So special at 8:13 in the morning. It is pretty special. It's 9:13. I know. Renee had to read that twice. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's so funny. All right. So I had two articles that I pulled. Let me see if I can find them. That I wanted to read to you. Let's see where I put them. Okay. So I want to read this and I want to see what everybody's take is on this. Now I saw the title for this. And I didn't read the article yet. It's from the Atlantic. And I want to hear everybody's take on this. So this is an article, kind of a criticism of the movie When Harry Met Sally. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but this is a classic movie, right? Who hasn't seen? Oh my gosh. Before we do this, let me tell you this story. I was home I don't know if I told you, I was home a couple weeks ago, and Brooke and I were like straightening her hair or something. And I turned on fried green tomatoes. And we only watched maybe the first half hour of the movie. And she goes, I'll watch the rest of it another time. I said, okay. So just the other day, she goes, oh, by the way, I watched the rest of Fried Green Tomatoes. I go, oh, did you love it? She goes, not really. It was kind of sad. I go, okay, but I mean, the ending, right? She goes, what do you mean? I go, the ending of Fried Green. It's like the greatest movie ever. Right? And she was like, well, it kind of got sad, so I just turned it off. I said, you didn't watch the end of the movie? She goes, no. Why? Did something happen? I said, yeah, something happens at the end of the movie. She said, well, just tell me what it is. I go, no, I can't tell you what happens. At the end of Fried Green Tomatoes, she goes, well, what, should I go back and watch it? I was like, yeah, you should. Go back and watch it. I was like, I'm not telling you what happened. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah. Okay, let's go back to Harry Met Sally. Sorry, I just thought it was the funniest thing. I was like, that is not the time to yes, you do, yeah, exactly, Wendy. Okay, here it is. This is what this was, an article. Nobody prepares you for that ending. I can't tell you that ending. Stephanie, you should. You don't remember what happens, Carrie. Okay, Carrie, listen to it. I can't. I'm not going to say it. It looks like some people haven't watched it, but there's definitely sad, but then the end happens. And it's crazy and oddly not wrong. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you have to watch it. Anyway. Harry Met Sally. So this is an article in the Atlantic, and it was a criticism of When Harry Met Sally. Now, this is just what they kind of wrote in like how they sum it up. So you can go back and read the full article, but here it is. It says, the classic rom-com, When Harry Met Sally, invented the high-maintenance woman. And its reductive diagnosis lives on, Meg Garber wrote in 2019. According to Random House Historical Dictionary of American Slang, it was When Harry Met Sally that popularized the term high maintenance in American culture. In the scene from the film, Harry describes Sally as the worst kind. You're high maintenance, but you think you're low maintenance. The term high maintenance, Garber writes, serves as an indictment of women who want. It neatly captures the absurdity of a culture that in one breath demands women to do everything they can to maintain themselves and in the next mocks them for making the effort. The designations are often falsifiable because they live in the eyes of the beholders, and they are often popularized in the context of comedy, which gives them another kind of impunity. Calm down, we're all just telling jokes. It insists that Harry's assessments of things were not callous, but simple reflections on how things were. When Harry Met Sally is ultimately the story of Harry's arc, the question it asks in the end is not whether women and men can be friends, which is what I thought it was, but whether a guy who hates almost everyone can open himself up to a single someone. That he proves able to evolve suggests an absolution, Garber writes. Sally may have gotten a happy ending. She waited so long for it, though. And waiting is not as romantic as her movie makes it believe it to be. Maybe there were times along the way when she almost said something to Harry but didn't, understanding how easily her preferences could be dismissed as inconvenient. Maybe she questions herself. Maybe she knew that despite it all, women who just want it the way that they want it are still assuming to be wanting too much. Boom, boom, boom. So, it is very funny sometimes when people will retrospectively look at movies that like we grew up with that are completely pop culture and then kind of turn them on their side and be like, have you thought about this message? And I was like, gosh, that whole movie was kind of wrapped up in this idea of whether men and women can be friends, which we talked about for generations and generations, right? But I don't know. It is kind of interesting, like how many women are still in the same boat. Like if you're out there dating and you think you're dating a grown person and you're like, I'm going to need you to step it up. This is not like, I'm a functioning human. I think you should be a functioning human. And then two functioning humans together would be a good couple. But apparently, if you ask, you're high maintenance. Are you, Melissa? Sorry. I hope you feel better. Kathy said, I want everything a certain way. It's called having taste, preference, and a brain. Right? And how many women are willing to wait around for a guy to grow up? That's why so many women are single. Are we? Is it high maintenance? I think not. Indeed. Where's Indeed at? I know. You got a preference, all of a sudden you high maintenance. But remember, there was a time where if somebody called you high maintenance, you were like, I am not. I don't know. It is. Now, Judy, here's another one that somebody brought up. And it was really interesting the way that they brought it, because I was like, what? Okay. So you can give your thoughts on this. Yeah, Sherry Bougie Taylor. Where's she? Indeed. I remember it was probably before they relaunched Cobra Kai. And somebody went after the Karate Kid and was like, basically the Karate Kid was the instigator. And I was like, how dare you? But then when they put it together and they were like, he kind of started a lot of the fights. And then they showed the video and I was like, that's not how I ever saw that. Here comes Sherry Bougie Taylor. I don't think there is a person out there who isn't high maintenance. Relationships are work. Oh, that's a bougie thing to say, Sherry Bougie Taylor. Here comes Patty. At this point in my life, if I'm high maintenance, it's because you're too lazy to keep up. No, she didn't say that. She said it. She said it. Here comes Patty. Here comes Patty. Yeah. I'd rather be high maintenance than wait for a grown-ass man to show up. Yeah. Okay. Is she wrong? Look, all the men are just slowly leaving. Haven't heard a peep out of Bob. Where's Bob today? Have you ever watched Me TV? I cringe at so many of the old faves. The portrayal of women was mind-blowing. You know what show? I don't care when you watch it, but it's just lemonade, Jules. I got the kidney stones. I don't care when you watch this show. It stands the test of time. Designing Women. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Julia Sugarbaker. Come on now. Come on. Bob just doing Bob things. Yeah, Barb. If I didn't, I'd have to fill up a glass 17 times. I don't have that kind of time in my life. Julia Sugarbaker. And even at the time that show was written, it was groundbreaking. But you can put that show on. Classic show. Yeah. So good. I started watching Designing Women last night. Yeah. Exactly, Shakendra. Julia Sugarbaker speeches. Do you remember the speech when she did when the Knights went out in Georgia? It's classic. Mm-hmm. So good. No, I hate lemonade, Jules. I'm a tea person, but most teas, unless it's green tea, has oxalates in it. So I had to get off the juice. I'm in recovery. Every once in a while I'll splurge and have a tea, but I try to drink green tea because it doesn't have oxalates in it. I don't know. It's a big word. It's a dumb word. Meg, such a good one. Dixie Carter. What's her name? Dixie Carter. Mm-hmm. And her and the sister. What's the other? Yeah. So yeah. Such good shows. When she was standing up for her sister, the best. The best. Mm-hmm. Or when she talked to Suzanne. And that Suzanne character, it was played so well. Who's the actress's name? The sister was played so well because Delta Burke. Because she was so bougie and rude. And yet you loved her. Like Delta Burke just played it so well that you just loved everything. It's just so good. It was so good. Annie Potts was in it. Jean. Oh, it was so good. Yeah. Jean Smart. Yeah. If you're too young and you don't know any of these names, you should go back and watch the show. Oh, Carrie, it's so good. It's so good. And Jean Smart is in the new one. It's on one of the streaming channels. It's about comedy and it's so good. But it's yeah. Annie Potts is great. All of them. Mm-hmm. Hacks. That's what it is. Thank you, Carrie. So anyway, can we talk about the Breakfast Club, of course? Yeah, I mean, the Breakfast Club. It was like you could pick who you were in the Breakfast Club. Yeah, it's great. I mean, that was what would they call? What did they call them? That whole group of them during that time. Because there was the Rat Pack, which is prior to me. But then it was, remember, it was like Rob Lowe and the Brat Pack, Demi Moore, all of them. Mm-hmm. We don't have, do we have that anymore? Is there any group like that? I don't know. I'm trying to think of like since then, like Molly Ringwald. Yeah. So good. Mm-hmm. Right, Tamiko? I don't think that since then there's been, I mean, we've had like boy bands, right? Rob Lowe just turned 60. Rob Lowe looks amazing, doesn't he? And he just seems like a nice guy. I don't know, right? Yeah. And then the Pretty in Pink gang. Yeah. Yeah, but it just I can't think of like a group that just hangs out all the time. The right, 90210, I guess. I don't know. Not the same though, right? He lives on the Atkins diet. Okay. Ali Sheedy, yeah. All of them. So good. Anthony Michael Hall. Oh, he was great. The cast of Friends, but again, not the same. Like you just got the idea that they all hung out together. You know, John Hughes movies. I know. Eric Estrada just turned 75. That's so crazy. That is so funny. Wow. Is the light changing a lot? I feel like the lights just went out outside. Jesus was like, oh, we're just gonna turn this down a bit. I don't know why. I know. All right, how we doing? Well, I would put your pants behind the shoe thing. Why do I gotta see that much shoe?
They don't.
Yeah.
Just my pants aren't that long enough.
No, you look nice. I mean, I think you need a haircut. Did you write your 10 facts? No, you didn't.
I did.
Then put them here. Let me get you 10 more pieces of paper for today. Hold on. I have to do my mom job. I'll tell you what this is. Talk to each other. All right. This pack is ready. So Dean is waiting to hear about a job. And I told him, you need to
I
prepare.
wrote 6.
Okay, that's not 10.
Let's go.
All right, we'll take the other 4 and add it to that 10, and you have to do 14 now. Do you have the 4 pieces of paper?
They're downstairs. I gotta go.
Did you put no, take these with you. What do you mean you gotta go? Take them with you. You have to finish your homework. Here. Come on, tell me. Dean is excited. Need a haircut. Here. You're gonna be great. Dean Michael! I love you. What time are you gonna be home? Okay. All right. So, what you call it? He is waiting to hear about a job. And so I said to him, I said, you need to prepare like you are getting an interview. So I'm making him come up with 10 facts about this company so that he's ready. Yeah. So, so we'll see. So yeah. Anyway, I know, Nurse Debbie, my job is never done. Just follow my kids around. Beg, just do this. Just get your haircut. Like that. Yeah. So here's what I've been doing all week. So since I was supposed to be greatly debilitated by now and recuperating from my surgery for the entire week, I've decided to be the most productive I've ever been in my entire life because I essentially got a week of life. So I'm trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done this week. So we'll see. There was a second article. Yeah, this second article, it was okay. I don't know if this is going to be life-changing to anybody, but the way that they wrote the article, they made it sound like it was life-changing. I'm going to read it to you, and then you just tell me if this is even remotely interesting to you. So here's the story. And this was all over the news. Keep this in mind. Big deal. And actually, it went into effect 2 days ago. I don't know how many people have noticed. Here we go. And again, this was on all major news channels. Here's the thing. Yeah, I was supposed to have kidney stones yesterday, but they had to cancel because I keep getting infections. All right, here we go. The title of the article is breaking news, mind you. Target to officially launch new express self-checkout policy on Sunday, March 17th. Here's what you need to know. So they had an entire article. Now, we all know that Target has self-checkout. We all know that. We've all used it. It says now, in order to use the express self-checkout registers, you have to have 10 items or less. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. This is going to cause a lot of problems. It is at Target, Tracy, because I'm telling you, do not, and they said that it's going to be strictly enforced because what was happening is that I don't know if you've been to Target, but if you've been there, you know that at this point they have 27 self-checkout lines and one teller, one actual cashier. Yeah, no. Maybe it's been like that, Linda, but it has not been like put in like, yeah, always over 10 things. I know who has less than 10 things at Target, number one, but they were finding that they were doing this research. They put all this self-check in so they could save money, but it just, the lines were so long because people don't know how to, if you have more than 10 things, which everyone does, everybody's like, how do you get this? Da, 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 da. I guess people are stealing stuff. People aren't checking it out right. Yeah, the self-checkouts were all closed. They had one checkout clerk. Exactly. So it said that it had run some, it's at the same time, Target is opening more traditional checkout lines where employees can ring up customers. Imagine that. Employees ringing you up. Isn't that how we always did it? The retailer tested the system back in the fall and at 200 stores and found self-checkout moved twice as fast by limiting the number of items. They had a big researcher come in and do that. I could have told you that. I could have told you that if you get a whole bunch of people who are not cashiers to check themselves out, this is going to take a lot longer. Yeah. So it was breaking news. Ours started before. A friend counted the items in her cart. Last Wednesday, she said, I'm good to go. Then the employee working said to her as she was checking out, ma'am, you have more than 10 items, because she had some items in her bin under the cart. Yeah. I don't know. Did the self-check-in so they wouldn't have to pay step. I know. And I was like, come on now. I think theft skyrocketed as well. Yeah, no. Yeah, any woman shopping would be able to tell. I don't need a research study. I'd be like, this is dumb. No, I didn't get my I know. I did get a car, Janet. I just didn't get my surgery for my kidney stones. So good news, bad news. Driving around a real nice car, nowhere to go. Can't go far because I got kidney stones. That's it. So yeah, that's been my thing. But I do love my car. Yeah, Mary, they paid for the study to tell them that all the things that they had done to save money is actually losing money. And now they're going to go back and have to hire employees. Yeah. So, but here's the thing is that how many times, because we're all like this. If it's me, if I got 11 items, I'm like, 11 is basically done. How many people? Okay. So if I have 11 items, I'm like, 12 items is basically done if you divide it in half. So I will come up with a reason why I should be here. But let me tell you something. If I have 20 items and I see you trying to scoot into stuff, I will count your items. Raise your hand if you've never counted an item. You have. Everybody counts. You'll be like, you should not. And then you look at people. But if it's me, I'm like, no, that peanut butter is a 2-pack, but it's 1. Like, I will come up with an algorithm that justifies me being in this line. Or I'm tired, or I'm bloated. But I'm just saying, I am the item police. I will count. Girl, don't be in front of me with 13 items. Get me and my 11 in front of you. There's just something. There's like a weird thing that just happens. You just start getting crazy. When you're tired, you're hangry, and then you're looking at the 10 items or less, and for whatever reason you have 5, and you just start counting people's items. Yeah, I'm a rule follower. I'm always on the verge of giving a lecture. I'm like, listen, I don't want to point out that, but you have a carton of eggs. She's like, that's 1 item. Is it? Or is it 12? Because depending on my mood, you will hear 2 different answers. Yep, I'll count it. But do you say anything? Robin, I won't say anything, but my eyes will. My eyes and my face. I'll be like that. Yeah. If I have 4 cans of corn, that counts as one. In what scenario? It depends on my mood. Yeah. 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 I'm sorry, Melissa. I'm telling you, my eyes never stop talking. Ever. Just, and especially if something crazy happens, I'm like, I can't. I just have to hold them like this. I'm like, oh my God, did you see what that just said? Oh my God. I can't. No, I can't do it. No, I told you. Remember that time when I was in Syracuse and I went to that weird pay it forward? I don't know, some supermarket, and I just wanted these cookies. I just wanted to eat cookies in a dirty parking lot and do the morning show. And I couldn't get the thing to check out. And then the lady in front of me, she had her special card, like her Acme card, and it was going to save her money. And what Price Chopper? It was the Price Chopper, Anne-Marie. And she wasn't going to check out because she couldn't get her Price Chopper to work. She goes, well, I got to save my money. Maybe it was $1. And I must have stood there for 20 minutes the whole time. I'm like, I'm supposed to be live in a dirty parking lot. And I can't believe we're still standing here for $1. And I was like, lady, I'll give you $1 if you just move. Just move. And yeah. I do like to squeeze people. Missy knows. Like if I'm out with you and something twisted starts to happen, I will real slow. I will grab part of your body, hopefully not your boob. And I will try to keep my eyes, but I will squeeze the blood out of your body. I will tourniquet your arm to let you know. And the worst thing, so here's the thing, like if Missy's sitting next to me and something starts going like twisted, I will start to, but I can't look at her because if something twisted is happening, I will squeeze your arm or your leg and just, can you believe that? But I cannot, if I look at you, I will crack up laughing. Missy and I can't. Where's the worst place that you've laughed? So inappropriately. I have laughed at more funerals and I am ashamed. I am straight ashamed. But I think it's just all of like just getting sad and overwhelmed. Yeah, church, that's what I mean. I can't. I think it's just my body's way of like, girl, you're either going to just cry hysterical or just and then you start laughing and then you know it's wrong and then it makes you laugh more until you cry and then you're like, yes, cry. That's what I was hoping for. And you're like, no, this is just a really hard time for me. Or when someone falls. Yeah. No, when somebody falls, but it's an old person, you're like, oh, and you want to make sure they're okay, but you just, in a courtroom as a juror. Yep, no, I would do that. My aunt's funeral, because the preacher was having a real Southern service getting in people's faces. I'd be like, why are they yelling? I remember my daughter has that affliction where she laughs at sad times. Yeah, I know. I can't, and I know it about me, and I will make inappropriate jokes when nobody wants that. I would go to church just hanging with my boyfriend, and the pastor actually stopped it to tell us to stop laughing. Yeah, when my son was a toddler, her tan behind the casket and thought the lid was going to fall off. I about died. Good thing it was my aunt. She would have gotten a kick out of it. I was holding my youngest and it was quiet and she started farting at a baptism. The pastor raised the baby like Simba and we started laughing. I'm the worst when somebody falls. My brother tells me I'm going to hell. Yeah. Got my trembling bracelet stuck on my girlfriend's shirt at a friend's mother's funeral. Got the giggles so bad we had to step outside. Smirgin Gergen, we're thinking about you. My cousins started laughing at each other, and my grandpa said they had to make it look like we were crying. I told you the worst. It was when my grandpa had passed, and my grandma was like this big, Rudy, right? So Rudy, and when you're Italian and somebody dies, everybody just comes over, brings the food. So there's just people come. We don't know any of these people. So my sisters and I are sitting on the couch, and we're meeting people that we were like, I've never seen these people before in my whole life. We have a big family, so we knew our family, but they got the friends, People just keep coming in. And every time somebody comes in, my grandma would announce them. She'd come over. Everybody, this is the Carollis. They were friends of ours. They grew up with us. And she'd introduce them, right? Well, this lady, now my grandma's this big. This other lady's this big. And she goes, everybody, this is little Lee. Now, if you're Italian, you had a nickname, right? So she's introduced and this is the Duke. This is the da-da-da, right? So everybody, this is little Lee. Now, I had never seen little Lee in my entire life. Never met her, ever. But she showed up, and my grandma loves little Lee. And I was like, cool, never heard of her. So we're sitting there, and she goes, little Lee, her husband just died last year. She did that. Her son died the year before. What was it? Your cousin? Your cousin died like 6 months before. She must have named 10 people that little Lee knew and had died in the last 3 years. And she just kept naming them. And the more she's naming just as she's naming them and unpacking all the dead people that little Lee knew, I was thinking, I do not want to meet little Lee. Everyone she knows is dead. That's all that went through my mind as she's naming these people. And so at some point I was like, oh my God, I got to get away from little Lee. I'm going to die. If you know her more than 5 minutes, dead. And I looked at, and that was the mistake. I looked at my sisters like, we're about to die. And then that was it. And then I started hysterically laughing. I think my grandpa was still in the other room, dead. And I ran in the back bedroom. I shut the door, could not stop laughing. Then my sister, Michelle, comes running in. She's like, what's wrong? I was like, we're going to die. And then my other sister came in. She goes, we're all going to die. So now we're all sitting in this room. We're like, stay away from little Lee. Then my mom comes in, furious. She comes in the room. I think she slapped all of us. She was like, what are you so disrespectful? I was like, we're going to die. Just the whole thing. What are you talking about? I'm like, did you meet little Lee? You're going to die now. Just like a movie. And then she started laughing, and then nobody could leave. And we just sat in the room hysterically laughing and avoiding little Lee. Little Lee might still be alive and just killing people with her eyes. I don't know. But I watched somebody walk into a glass door at the mall, and I laughed so hard I couldn't walk. Well, there you go. Little Lee. My boyfriend took me on a quiet train. He shushed me. I said, did you shush me? He put it to the side and said, punch it. Well, that's a problem. She announced all the people that died, and I couldn't. In church, middle row, second pew, old lady in the front row was taking a Polaroid picture of the preacher. The camera was backwards. A picture of her own face came out and hit her in the nose. Okay. We have an open mic in our area, and although I give kudos to all those who don't say, there are 3 friends who cannot look at each other when this couple comes up. No one has told me how bad they are. Had to leave the area doubled over. Yeah. My nephew, standing in the middle of the aisle during mass, loudly said hi to the priest. Hey, what's up? As a kid, walking behind my grandma in the procession, all of a sudden her garters and hose fell down around her ankles. My sister and I almost fell when she bent over to pick them up. I was at my dad's funeral. My sister was kneeling down. My older sister had the tags and the bond. She started laughing. My nickname was Little, but I'm not so little, and had 3 deaths in February. That's hysterical about Little Lee. No, it was bad. Little Lee is the reason that Lifetime movies were made. Had a mom literally walk her toddler into a table of shoes and turned to yell at her to hurry up. I told my mom, you just walked her face into a table. I just attended a funeral for my next door neighbor's husband. Long story, but I tried to revive him and it didn't work. Anyway, went to the funeral, and the name of the tombstone next to us was Newcomer. I left the entire funeral. Mm-hmm. Right there. All of a sudden he yelled, "Quit touching!" No, Meredith. Oh my gosh. My uncle got into over the name of their Uncle Toot. My Uncle Toots wrote Toots instead of Andrew. Told him, what? I don't know if I understand that. Walk into a glass wall in a lobby. So hard, I flew back on my head. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, it's so funny. Yeah, the lady with the Polaroid. That's a good one. You just watch old people and you're like, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are coworkers that I could not have eye contact with during meetings, especially when our boss would start ranting, all while rubbing his belly. No, I would be out. I'd be like, do not look at Missy. Do not look at Missy. The Buddha just rubbing his belly. Don't look at Missy. No, there's just certain people. Mm-mm. My girlfriend had gas so bad in the store. She let one go so loud. And then we turned to the man standing there. We were laughing so hard we fell to the ground laughing. There were coworkers. No, a lady out there, she just around the corner on our cruise ship. No. Yeah, no, all bad. All right, well, you're welcome. Listen, it's a good day. We got a lot covered. A lot of stuff covered. And we officially welcome Floppy Bonnie. Oh, wait, I have to put this on. I have to do a puzzle on the TikTok. Oh, there we go. Puzzle complete. Smergenbergen, we're thinking about you. So we miss you. And I haven't seen Bob today, so I hope he's hanging in. I can't look at my friends Carrie or Tracy. Fair. Mm-hmm. Anyway, fun morning. If Judy wasn't in jail from Saskatoon, I'm sure she would say, do something nice for yourself and others today. I'm not sure how long her jail time extends, but hopefully we'll see her more. Floppy Bonnie. Yeah, Kitty Radcliffe, you got to go back and watch yesterday's show and then watch this show here where we officially meet Floppy Bonnie. It's a long story. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Do something nice for yourself or others today, like Judy from Saskatoon says. And I hope you have a great day and a blessed day. I'll see you tonight on Tipsy Tuesday. We'll see what we'll be talking about. And that's it, everybody. So thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in a couple hours. Have a good one. Bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new Inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny